Hey, this is Nat, and we're off our couch in Townsend, Tennessee, about 20 miles away from Gatlinburg, 16 miles from Pigeon Forge, visiting the Tuckaleechee Caverns, referred to as the greatest site under the Smokies. Within this site, estimated to be 20 to 30 million years old, we will come across stalactites, stalagmites, a two-tier waterfall, and a room nearly big enough to fit a football stadium. Before we venture too deep into the caverns under the Great Smoky Mountains, some important information you may need to know for your visit. The caverns are not open all throughout the year. They are not open in the winter months, and the hours of operation do vary during the time period that they are open. The website link is in the description for the schedule and operating hours, as well as admission prices. Well, it is officially time for our tour, and we don't have to reserve tour times ahead of time. I would recommend calling ahead though, from personal experience, especially if you're arriving later in the day. The cave is family owned, and they were actually closing early when we arrived, so we are on the last tour for today. The tour is a mile-long guided tour that lasts about an hour and 15 minutes. We've just started our guided tour, and we are learning from our guide about the first people to discover this cave. Two little boys, just age 6 and 8, found these caverns, and I would have loved to see or hear their response the first time that they stumbled into these caverns. And by the way, you'll be hearing actually my first response to these caverns as we're walking in, because I have not seen any videos, just a few pictures from the brochure actually. Unlike London, who kind of knew what to expect, I had no idea what to expect. This is just the second cavern that we visited, the first being the Florida Caverns in the Florida Caverns State Park in Marianna, Florida. You may recall that visit if you joined us off the couch for that. And thank you for joining us then and now. That cavern, if you remember, if you were on that adventure with us, was very polished, especially the entrance. However, this cavern is au naturel. There are no colored lights, and it feels like I'm venturing into the middle of trouble. I'm just walking into this unknown, mysterious, dark cave. It is exactly what I would expect it to look like if I just happen to find a cave out somewhere, and it is wet down here. Wetter than usual, we're being told by the guide, due to all of the rain. Our first excursion here in Tennessee was at Wildside Adventure Park right in the UTV, and that was a sunny day. Since then, it's been raining, so we've had to come inside for the rest of our activities here in Tennessee. But the outside is still following us inside. And look at how deep we're moving into this cave. Over 80 steps to descend into the cave. Okay, we have made it, and I just cannot believe all of the water that is rushing through this cave. I'm speechless. I'm amazed. I'm scared too. These are my in-the-moment thoughts. I'm trying to take it all in very quickly too. As I said, the tour is about an hour and 15 minutes, and there seems to be a lot to look at, a lot to ooh and ah over. So we have a lot of ground to cover. This right here is a wishing well, and I wish that I don't fall and get swept up in this water. If that happened, half the footage would be swept away too. That's not good. The water is a lot. It's like a river just moving through an enclosed area, and you can hear how loud it is too right now. So now we are quickly approaching Silver Falls. It comes from White Oak Sink, a trail near Townsend within the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. This is the tallest subterranean waterfall in the eastern United States. It falls 210 feet, but we are only getting to see 50 feet of it. And if you think that you're seeing two waterfalls, you are seeing correctly. This is a two-tier waterfall. Wow, this is cool. We should hike that White Oak Sink Trail. It would be fascinating to see this from under the park and then within the park. What do you all think? And have you already hiked the White Oak Sink Trail? Let us know that too in the comments, please. So at the risk of stating the obvious, it is hard to walk and film in the dark, or at least near dark, and it's even harder to sprint and film in the near darkness. As I briefly explained before, we are the last tour of the day and the only ones. Just the 4 of us are on this tour, which is cool because that means we can ask all the questions that we want, but it does mean that we have to keep with the pace. There's no group to linger behind. We have to keep up with the guide. And she knows these caverns and she has the cardio to move quickly through the caverns. I do not. I have not built up to that level. What London and I will do, when we can, we're going to stop to snag still videos and pictures of this cavern so you all can see it better and hopefully see how magnificent this natural wonder is. Since we are sprinting, that's what it feels like to me, okay? It is a good thing it isn't hot in here. The cavern stays 58 degrees year round. So when the temperature heats up, this is a great place to visit, which is why I included visiting a cavern on our summer travel ideas bingo cards. If you're watching this shortly after publishing, then you know summer is fast approaching. And to help inspire more travel and adventure during your upcoming summer, we're offering a freebie. Download our free Summer Ideas Travel Bingo cards. The link is in the description. Every month we provide freebies, time-saving tips, money-saving tips, and added travel inspiration in our newsletter. If you've yet to subscribe to our newsletter, that link is also in the description and on our website at offourcouch.com. Now, right now, our guide is telling us that bats, salamanders, and crawfish are prevalent within this cavern. We have not seen any cave inhabitants as of yet. The bats normally just come out at night. We are seeing plants, though. My son pointed those out. And the guide is telling us that we bring in plant seeds when we walk into the caverns. And then the oxygen, the light, the water, everything is there present in the caverns for the plants to grow. The guide is also pointing out stalactites. They hold tight to the ceiling, and stalagmites, they might one day grow to the ceiling. Those are our mnemonic devices to remember the difference between the two. And if that does happen, if they both grow to reach each other, to touch each other, a column is formed. Stalagmites and stalactites grow only about an inch every 100 years, so you know how old these formations have to be, millions of years old. Our guide is even pointing out draperies, which are formations that I had not even heard of before. Now this is old. This spectacular geologic formation is named Flowstone Falls. It is 22 million years old and one of the oldest and largest formations in the cave. And this one, a part of it, we can actually touch. Oh, I should say that we're not supposed to touch them, by the way. The oils in our hands, on our body, they actually kill the formations. But this portion is already dead, so we can touch it. Okay, so moving on with our tour. I do have to tell you all, this is a lot of activity. The stairs, the climbing, the stooping down to avoid 4-foot clearances. So you know ahead of time the workout that you're going to be in for, but it is definitely worth it. On that note, though, we have made it to the resting portion of the tour where we get to sit down in the big room. This room is so big it can almost fit a football stadium. It is more than 400 feet long, 300 feet across, and 150 feet deep. We are sitting about 600 feet under in a hollowed out mountain. So the ceilings that we're looking at are dome shaped and the floors are V-shaped. So these formations don't look very big due to the shape of the room, but the formations in the room are actually 12 to 24 feet high, which is what our guide has been explaining to us. We can also do some echoing in this room.
1, 2, 3,
Echo!
Now that was just our second attempt at echoing. I think we did pretty good. And now it's time for a game of Name That Object. Do you all see the T-Rex? We'll end the tour here in the big room. Of course, we still have to walk back and climb the stairs. The 80 plus steps, 87 to be exact, we went down to descend into the cave. Can you believe I can't, but we have only walked 6% of this cave, and just a mere 8% of this cave has been explored. Only 8%. Isn't that amazing? Honestly, it's hard for me to fathom. And this cave, you see the wires, right? It has a seismic station, the most sensitive one on Earth, and is used to detect nuclear testing around the world. Wow, that is crazy. I would have never learned something like this unless I had taken this tour. Unbelievable. And I read on their website there are 10,000 known caves in Tennessee. That's a lot to explore. We hope to explore more of the caves here too. If any of you have explored any other caves in Tennessee, please let us know in the comments before we head out, because they are closing for today. Like I said, we were the last tour. Let's take a quick look at the gift shop. And inside of the gift shop, there's the seismic monitor. Can you believe that? Since our gift shop stop was so quick, if you love souvenirs and keepsakes of your trip like we do, I want to show you what we picked out to commemorate this unforgettable experience. Thank you so much for joining us on this underground tour of the Smokies at Tuckaleechee Caverns in Townsend, Tennessee. What was your favorite part of the tour? And did you have a formation you just couldn't stop staring at? I really loved the T-Rex formation. London thought the waterfall was really cool. My son was really intrigued by the fact that plants grow down here in the cave. And my daughter just enjoyed the general tour of the cave in the gift shop, of course. She got to buy a toy at the gift shop. But let us know in the comments, please, what were your favorite parts? And luckily, we do have more to see here in Tennessee. Each and every Saturday, we are off our couch for a new adventure. And as I just stated, we're still in Tennessee and Gatlinburg, Tennessee, to visit Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies. There are so many amazing creatures walking, swimming, and waterling all over this aquarium. So join us, please, for that adventure. If you yet to subscribe please. And as always, thank you for joining us on this adventure at the Tuckaleechee Caverns in Townsend, Tennessee. Thank you for all the likes, comments, shares, suggestions, and feedback. All of you join us off the couch week after week is what makes these adventures possible, so thank you. Until next week, click on the video to see another one of our experiences. Thanks for watching.